This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Okay, it's time we need to start.
Good evening. Everything starts with a plan. And tonight we are going to present to you something very important. We are going to talk about someone who didn't know themselves, someone who didn't like to appear. I will not tell you anymore. Prepare yourself because we're about to start.
A very good evening to you. This is Finding Answers, and today we will talk about insecurity. Insecurity has been a massive issue here in the UK, and I would like to talk about insecurity. And actually, we got some figures to share with you. 9 out of 10 British teenage girls are unhappy with their appearance, with mothers appearing to be responsible for passing on their own insecurities, an article on Mail Online suggests. Now imagine, let's talk about this figure here. 9 out of 10 British teenage girls are unhappy with their appearance. They feel insecure about themselves. They think they don't look beautiful enough. And this is what has been happening to a lot of people. Good evening, Neil. How are you?
Good evening, Dels. How are you?
Yeah, always good to have you on board. Neil, the matter of insecurity can become a very, traumatic, destructive problem, because insecurity, when you feel insecure about your looks, about your persona, about the way you come across, about the way you talk to people, you shy away, and you cannot make the most out of your potential. A lot of people have an amazing potential, but they don't make it in life. They don't make a difference. They don't do greater things with their talents. Not because they're not good enough, not because they can't do or they don't have the ability to do what they always want to do, but they are insecure. That means even if you've got the ability, the talent, even if you are a very good looking person, indeed, but if everyone taps your shoulder and say, listen, you're such a good looking person, you're very smart, you are a good singer, you are a good cook, people, keep praising you. But if you don't believe yourself, if you don't believe, if you don't believe yourself in the sense of believing that you're good enough, that you can make things happen, it's not going to work.
Do you know, I've heard of cases where people even take their own lives because of insecurity, comparing themselves with others. And maybe this has been your situation. You have been spending days and days, every day of your life, comparing yourself with others. Let me tell you something. If you should have been that person, you would. If you were supposed to look like that person, you would. But first, you have to start to love yourself. And I want to invite you right now, you that you said that this is my problem. I would like to talk. Our lines are open. Give us a call right now at 020-7686-6300. Call now. You want to talk to someone. You want to get this out because you recognize that the high level of your insecurity is really taking you to another level. And Douglas, there are many people because of the level of their insecurity, they try to live to please others or try to live the life of is like, I'm living in your shot.
Yeah.
But I'm not you, but I want to live in your shot. And this has been the situation of many people.
For instance, Neil, perhaps, there are viewers who are watching this show now, and, you are a wife, and because your husband is a good-looking man, or because, he's got he's good-looking, or he goes to the gym, and then you don't think that you are as good-looking as your husband, and then there is this mismatch, that's what you think, okay? Then you are always afraid of losing your husband for other women.
Yeah.
You are always, wondering, oh my God, is he going to cheat on me? This is insecurity. And no man you appreciate a woman who is insecure.
And then that question comes, I don't know if I'm good enough for him. Or in the case of the man, I don't know if I'm good enough for her. This is the question that comes.
And the other way around also happens a lot. Men who are very insecure, because when we talk about insecurity, it doesn't just relate to women. Actually, there are men who are a lot more insecure than women.
Yeah.
There are men who are very shy. He knows he's got the ability, he's got the skills, he's got the talent, he's got what it takes to make a clear difference. His workplace, his career, his study, his education. But he feels like he's stuck in a rut because he's extremely insecure. I want you to watch now this video. And the video that you are about to see now is about a person who was struggling with lots of problems. But when this person finally discovered about the genuine transformational power of faith, everything changed in their lives.
One issue that I used to really have was problems sleeping at night. For about 9 years straight, I would literally be having the same nightmare on and off, on and off. And it was a very weird but almost realistic nightmare. So it was like the area I would live in would morph into something different, and then I would end up being chased by black figures, like just running through my area. I would recognize like key spots of where I lived in this nightmare. And so what would happen, for me to get to sleep, I would be rocking myself back and forth like my head, just so it would rock me to sleep. I couldn't sleep without music and the television on. So for me, it took me a very long time, and then before I knew it, I wouldn't know what time it is and I have to wake up and I'm going to school. And this would happen for on and off 9 years. And for me, it was very difficult because it got to a point where I was so scared to walk through my area. And there was a particular part of this area where in the dream, I would literally be faced with this big black figure, and it would chase me all the way back home. So because of this part of the nightmare, I wouldn't be able to go to this particular area in my own area. I wouldn't be able to go through that place. I would take another route, the long way round, just so that I wouldn't go to that area. Even in the dream, it felt so real. It's like I could almost touch myself and feel like, but I would wake up and I would know that, oh, it was just a dream. And it would always end the same way. So for me, it was like, if it's almost kind of repetitive, it must be real. And there was even cases where I would sleepwalk. So I would go to the bathroom, I would turn the tap on, I would knock down the bike in the corridor, I would do many things, but be fully unconscious of what I'm doing. All these things I only knew because my mum would witness me doing it, or she would wake up and she would see that the bathroom had been run. Once, me and my mum, we went on holiday, and we obviously had to share the same bed. And I ended up beating her up in my sleep. So she woke up with scratches all over her, and she was like, "Louise, you just attacked me at night." And I was like, but I didn't know. I felt so guilty inside of me. I was like, I would never want to hurt my mum, even though we didn't really have a good relationship the way that I wanted it at that time. I never dreamt of even hurting her. So when I saw that, I felt like a monster. But even though it wasn't me, I just felt like a monster. And even at times I would have dreams of like pushing my mum down the stairs. It was terrible. So for me, it was like, I didn't want to sleep. So when I went to university, things got worse because, late night partying and you're up all night or you're studying. So you become restless. And for me, the only time I could sleep was during the day. I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't. I'd be up maybe till 6 o'clock knowing that I had lectures, but I couldn't sleep. And it got to a point where once I was so tired that I completely passed out during the day. I missed my lectures, I missed everything, I was gone. To a point where people were so worried they had to break into my room. And they broke into my room and I was still sleeping. And then they woke me up, they were like, Louise, like, where have you been? And I was just like, I've just been sleeping. And for me, that was really one of the worst moments for me because it was like anyone could have just come into my room and attacked me. I was so vulnerable, I didn't even know what to think. Thank goodness it was, people who were actually kind of looking after me in a sense. So, but for me, that was one of the worst moments, and that attacking my mum at night because, again, I never would have intentionally ever wanted to harm her. But when I saw those cuts, it even hurt me personally, it did. There was nothing to tell me, oh, this is not right, this is not normal. It was just normality to me. It's only when I came to the church, I was coming to the Friday meetings where I understood that, okay, these nightmares, these things that I'm doing in my sleep, it's not me. And I started to understand the roots behind it. And it's funny because even as I started attending the Friday meetings, I had these nightmares again. They came up. But the funny thing is, I remember the very last time I had this nightmare because I remember I went that night just so kind of angry that all these years I had been experiencing it, and I finally understood what was behind it. So I remember doing like a very strong prayer on me saying, it's not gonna be no more. But that night I had the nightmare, but it ended differently. Because usually in the nightmare, I would run to my house, I would be dodging all these dark figures, but I would run to my house and the door would not close properly. It wouldn't close. So it was a thing where it was like, I would close the door behind me, but you could see outside. It was very strange. But this very last nightmare, I'll never forget, the door closed. And for me, it was like I woke up believing that I had been set free. I knew that that was the last time I was gonna have that nightmare, and I didn't have it again. I didn't have it again. So from then, I started to have more peaceful sleeps. I didn't have to rock myself. Even now, I'm at a point where if the light is on, I'm like, turn it off. Like, trust me, it doesn't take long for me to sleep at all. I sleep peacefully and probably sleep too much sometimes, but honestly, I don't have no more nightmares. I don't sleepwalk. I don't attack people in my sleep. I'm not scared to go through that area. I'm free, so yeah.
What an amazing story, Neil. We have just watched the story of this person who's been through so much in life. Yeah. But when they found the genuine power of faith, everything changed. And faith is a tool, Neil, that if we use it correctly, smartly and intelligently, faith can help us tackle insecurity. We have a guest here in the show, okay? Tonight's guest, he's a man, by the way, okay? A young man, but he used to suffer a lot from insecurity. And he's got an amazing story to share with you guys. So don't go anywhere, stay put, call your friends, text them, invite them to watch the show, because tonight's show looks very, very promising. And by watching the story of our live guest, his story may help you, deal with the matter of insecurity more firmly than what you've been doing so far. Okay? Neil, if people want to call us, to talk to us, what is the phone number?
The phone number is 020-7686-6300. You can call right now, because always we said on the program that when you call, we are ready to talk to you. Because Douglas, one day we wanted to talk to someone, And we found someone. We came to the place of faith. Some of us we called before, some we came straight, and we found someone to talk to. So you don't keep inside of you the problem. Let it out. We are here to hear you. We have an ears to give it to you anytime.
Yes, we'll go to a short break now.
Pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Welcome back to Finding Answers, and the guest of tonight's show is Nathan. How are you, Nathan?
I'm okay, Douglas. How are
Yes,
you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. Nathan, we are talking about insecurities. Insecurity has become a massive issue in the world, and you know, even here in the UK, you know, a very strong country with such a powerful, you know, economy, with so many opportunities, you know, of a great career, a very successful country indeed, but people still feel very insecure. We just, you know, we just checked, you know, a recent survey where 9 out of 10 teenage girls here in Britain feel unhappy about their appearance. This is 9 out of 10. I mean, it's almost everyone. You, as a man, did have a serious issue with insecurity, didn't you?
I had an issue with insecurities. I mean, maybe some people may think that girls are the only ones that have insecurities, but guys also have insecurities as well. And I was a person that had insecurities before coming to the place of faith. So when I was in school, I wasn't confident. I get put down a lot from other people that were, how can I say, popular. You know, and I wasn't confident. I didn't believe in myself, and this took a toll on me. And I lived this kind of lifestyle, the way that I lived. It was normal for me, you know, not believing in myself, being insecure was a normal thing for me. I just lived it as the norm. When I was at home, I was insecure. Wherever I would go, I was always insecure, but I never knew that I had insecurities. I just, you know, would get put down a lot from a lot of people, and I would just take it. And you know, there was even moments where I would even cry, or there was even a moment where I cried because, you know, something so silly as in someone didn't like me, and I wanted them to like me, but because I was insecure, I was trying to get confidence from them, if you could say that. So insecurities was really not something that I wanted to have. But it's something that I had, and I never knew how to take it away.
Now, I've got a question for you, Nathan. You mentioned here that you used to feel very, very insecure about yourself, you know, even in the house. I mean, among your family members, and then obviously among your peers and so forth. Now, where did this come from? I mean, you know, how was your upbringing? How did you become this insecure person?
Well, to be honest, Douglas, I'm not really as sure as to why, because my upbringing was okay. I liked my upbringing, and I was with my dad. There may have been a moment where I didn't like the fact that my dad and my mum, because they were apart, they weren't together. So that was something that kind of actually brought a bit of insecurities. But it was the way that I was in school. It's just the way that the people I was around, I tried to be something. You could say I tried to be something that I couldn't be, or because there was people that was trying to put me down in a sense, or trying to do something to make me not be a confident person. So yeah, so it really told on me when I was in secondary school. And then I kept living this kind of life even after secondary school, into college. And yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't nice.
So you're trying to seek attention from your
Yeah, I was
friends,
seeking attention
trying
from
to,
other people.
trying to fit in with the crowd.
Yeah, I was trying to, you could say I was trying to fit in, yes. And I wasn't confident, so, you know, that's what someone would do if they were insecure.
What were the consequences, the bad consequences that your insecurity brought over you?
So when I was in school, I tried to get attention from other people. There was even a moment where there was someone that didn't like me, or I tried to do something to kind of get them to like me in a sense. But I was upset when I got home because I told my mom, and you know, that it was something you could say it was something small. It wasn't that much of a big deal, but I made it look as if like it was a big deal. And because I wanted to be friends with that person, or to you know, to have some kind of relationship with that person, but because I didn't get it, it was like I was upset, and that's when the insecurity started showing through, you know, this kind of action, through what I was, you know, doing. So yeah. So
Did you believe yourself?
I didn't believe in myself. I was very negative. I knew a lot of people, but I was a very negative person. I wasn't really positive, and I think the reason why I wasn't like that is because I was insecure. So it was all leading to insecurities. These things that I would face.
Would you compare yourself to other people?
I would compare myself to other people, because I didn't like the way that I looked. So, you know, if someone doesn't like the way that they look, they want to look like another person.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to do, compare myself with other people, other guys, you know, to basically compare, to see, like, because I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be like them, or be something like that like they were. So I would compare myself with other people.
Neil, did you used to have this problem of insecurity in the past?
I used to have many years ago, because what happened, Douglas, is insecurity makes you become a prisoner. You become a prisoner, let's say, of yourself then, because you close yourself. I used to be like that. I'm just listening to his story. And for example, I used to worry what people think about me. That was my worry. And if someone ever says, oh, you are not looking good, it would be like someone throw a bomb. And because I want to please, I want to please. If I displease someone, is the most disappointing moments of my life. So for many years, I had this problem also.
The problem of insecurity.
For many years.
Yes, I think a lot of men have been seriously affected with insecurity. Actually, insecurity was a major issue. I mean, to me, I also was very, very, very insecure, very shy. And yes, this is an issue that has been affecting, as you said previously, Nathan, it's not just girls, but also a lot of men have been feeling insecure about themselves. Now, Nathan, as far as you can remember, was there a moment in your life where you felt like that was the worst moment, the moment where you hit rock bottom?
I would say that in terms of like, there's a lot of people that, you know, experience different things. I wasn't a person that experienced a heavy moment, but there was moments where I experienced it and it was heavy. So I wouldn't say that there was a solid moment. There was a moment where I hit rock bottom, but there was many moments throughout my life that there was different experiences throughout my life that I experienced something that, you know, insecurities was there. Insecurities was a part of it. So yeah, but I lived this kind of life as normal. I didn't really know that I had insecurities as well. I didn't know that I was insecure. I didn't know that I didn't believe in myself. It was just something that was in me, and it was something that I didn't know anything. I didn't really know about, in a sense. So I just lived it as a normal thing. Yeah.
Meaning you got so used to it.
Yeah, I
that
got so used
you
to
couldn't
it.
bother.
Yeah,
you couldn't be bothered.
I didn't.
But it was killing you.
Yeah, it was. It was killing me. It's something that I didn't even fight for it either. It's like a problem. If you don't know what a problem is, how are you gonna fight against it?
Yeah.
So this was a problem that I had, and I never knew about it. So how was
And
I
if there
gonna
is
fight
no
against
fight,
it?
there is no winner.
There's no winner, and I wasn't being a winner at all.
Yeah.
I was literally a loser. So yeah.
Obviously, you're losing, you're losing the battle against insecurity. Now, how did the situation turn around? How did you become a winner over insecurity?
Okay, so there was a moment where when I joined the place of faith, where I understood what was going on with me. I understood what I was facing, how I understood, like that I wasn't a person that believed in myself. I understood through what I'd done there, how I was insecure, how I didn't believe in myself, what was behind these things, and what would make me to be the way that I am. And so once I realized that, I started fighting to believe in myself now, to get rid of these things, because now I knew the problem, I knew what it was, and now, so what I did was I started to fight. I didn't want to be like this, and my actions showed that I didn't want to be like this. So I started fighting against insecurities, fighting against, being a person that doesn't believe in myself. And over time, as I continued, I did manage to, be a person that believes in myself. I'm now a person that is, confident with myself. I'm really confident, maybe too confident. So, sometimes. So, yeah, it's literally, I'm happy. There's people that even if they try and put me down, I won't accept it. Literally. So I'm happy and I'm secure within myself. Yeah.
Do you believe yourself?
Yes, 100%, 150%, definitely.
Which is very important to mention, because perhaps you, dear viewer, you are somebody, you believe in God. You've got faith in God, you've got a religion, but you don't believe yourself. And, if you believe in God, whom you can't say, but you don't believe the person, who wears your shoes. So that doesn't make any sense, does it? It's not even intelligent. You need to believe yourself also. Yes, believe in God, but also believe yourself. Believe that you're capable of doing great things, because you are. Because you have a talent. You have amazing qualities. And you don't need people to keep tapping over your shoulder, to reassure you. No, you don't need this. You can have the approval of the entire planet, but if you don't approve yourself, you're not going to make it. However, even if the whole planet goes against you, but you believe yourself, my friend, you're going to make a difference. And your life will certainly, be a massive breakthrough. Okay? Thank you very much for your presence here. I believe that, your few words were very encouraging and inspiring to the viewer who has watched your story. Thank you. Okay?
No problem.
We'll go now to a short break, and after the break, Pastor Neil and I will be answering your questions.
This is your segment, your questions. We are ready and always ready to answer your question. This evening, Douglas, we have a question here. Let's see the first question.
Okay, the first question comes from Marlo from Surrey. Why do bad things happen to good people? Well, Marlon, the truth of the matter is, yes, it's true, bad things happen to good people. But then what is your definition of good people? Because what we sow, this is what we reap. Our life is pretty much, the result of our choices. The choices that I make now, they will obviously have a consequence, either good or bad. So, for instance, I consider myself being a good person, but then I get romantically involved to somebody whom I shouldn't. I will suffer. That person will break my heart. And then is it fair to say, oh, you see, Beth, why did it happen to me? I'm such a good person. Yeah, but you made a bad decision. I've got my job. I get my earnings. I get my salary towards the end of the month. But then I get the credit card. Yeah. And then I start overspending. I start spending money I don't have. It's not mine. It's money from the bank. Okay, and then I get myself into a massive debt. And I'm struggling to pay off my debt. And then I go and say, oh, you know what? Why did it happen to me? I'm such a good person. Yes, because, I wasn't a good manager of my finances. And I had the choice to refrain from overspending. I could have saved the money. And then now that I've got, the money, I will go and purchase, cash, not on credit. And these are just two examples, many other examples, because the truth is, Neil, my life is now the reflection
of what you
of the actions that I've taken, a while ago.
Yeah. Or let's say our lives today is the results of the action we took yesterday.
Yeah.
And our life will be tomorrow, Marlon, of the action we take today. This is it. This is it. Do we have another question? Marlon, I hope we answer you. I don't know if you get the point we are saying, but I believe you understand.
Just make sure, Marlon, that you start doing the right thing, and then you have very, very good results in your life, for sure. Okay. So the second question comes from Shannon from London. Okay. The question is, when I give my life to God, will God give me what I want?
It's a very serious question, Shannon. God, he works like this. When God says, you are my child, He will take care of you. But let's go back to what you said. Will He give me what I want? Sometimes God will not give to us what we want because at that moment what we want is not good for us. And once I give my life to Him, He knows what's best for me. For example, Shannon, I don't know if you are a parent. For example, let's say your child wants to go to ride a bike and some street, but that street is not safe. A car can come and hit the child. Will you allow? No, for sure. But maybe the child is crying and says, no, I want to go, I want to go, I want to go. The same God. But when He said, if I give my life to Him, will He give me? Once we give our life to Him, He will take care of us. He will protect us. But sometimes there are things that we want. At that moment, God knows it's not good for us, and He will not give it to us.
Yes. So that was it. I hope we answered your questions. And please stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, because towards the end of this show, by the end of this show, Pastor Neil and I will be praying for you. And we want to pray for you who suffer from insecurity. Obviously, maybe insecurity is not an issue for you. But, today we would like to, to say a very, very special prayer, Neil, to those viewers who suffer from insecurity. Insecurity has been an issue for them. And because of insecurity, they feel like they're stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
They are, on a standstill. And this cannot happen. You cannot remain as you are. Things need to change. Things need to change. And if you give faith a chance, the power of faith may certainly help you. The power of faith may certainly help you overcome these insecurities. Okay, we go now to a short break. Actually, I want you to watch this video now. A very interesting video. And after watching this video, we'll go to a break, and after the break, we'll be back with you.
Growing up without a father figure was quite hard for me. I really grew up with a really negative mindset, I could say. So in school, I had a lot of friends, because I was a really, popular guy. And I will be influenced and also influence others. And most of the time, it won't be good for good things. It will be for rob from the shop or play fight or do something silly. It was always due to be something negative. I believe the worst moment I had was when I had to really see if I had true friends. And I was coming back from school. One of the area boys in that time approached me with a knife, threatening to, kill me or stab me, and asking for my stuff at that time. At the time, I found it hilarious. The reason why is because I had 5 friends and it was only one person. But within a space of time, 2-3 friends disappeared out of nowhere, said they had to go to the shop. After that, I received, a really hard hit on my face, and I was still in shock at that moment because I was thinking, I'm with my friends, why are they just standing there? And then that's when I realized I didn't have true friends. It's when I went negative and I said, I want revenge. I had hatred inside of me. I got involved with much more things, addictions, fraud, stealing, robberies. I got involved with drugs, so many things that made me even a more negative person. Like, it was just more bitter and bitter as days went past. I was getting more negative. I just didn't care. I just didn't care about life. I didn't care about, what people think about me. I didn't care about nothing. All I cared about was doing what I think I should do, what I think is right. So I became really proud. I could say. So everything changed when a friend of mine invited me to a place, and I said, look, I'm not really a social person, but I'm gonna come because if you're saying whatever, this place can help me, because I knew that person and I saw that they've changed a bit and they used to go through the same things I was going through. So I came, and that's when I started to see results from coming and seeing myself invest in my career, seeing myself invest in my health. Every single area I saw development. So today I'm no longer involved in all these negative, surroundings, environments. I'm self-employed. I run a printing company. It's really developed in the last few years, and I really see a future. I have the vision to see even greater things to come. Yeah, it's funny. I see my old friends, and they are shocked when they see me. They're like, wow, Taffy, it's been 5-6 years and you're still like shining, you're still smiling. Like, how'd you do it? Many of them actually have asked me how and where do they go, because they really see a difference inside of me.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Today we are talking about insecurity, and we have interviewed here the guest of tonight's show, Nathan, who's shared an amazing story with us. Nathan struggled a lot with insecurity, and being a man and being so exposed to insecurity has become an issue. Not only women suffer from insecurity, a lot of men suffer from insecurity too. And and insecurity leads you to have different problems. For example, people who usually suffer from insecurity, they are unable, to control that negative emotion, because insecurity is a negative emotion, isn't it? So People feel depressed. People feel lonely. Some people, due to their insecurity issues, they can't sleep at night. Because, you know, when they go to bed, they keep thinking and thinking and overthinking, and they can't really fall asleep. And then the following morning, they need to get up, go to work. They go to work, they feel drained, they are exhausted, they are angry. And then they start lashing at, you know, people.
And sometimes arrive there on the job, they start comparing themselves with another coworker.
Yeah.
And the list goes on.
Yeah. And it's like a snowball, you know. The problem keeps growing and growing. And then you are, because you didn't sleep well last night, then obviously you made a mistake or you made an error, and then your boss, your manager comes, you know, and gives you a reprimand. And then you get angry, and then you give him a bad answer that can even cost your job.
Yeah.
But you see, all these began with the insecurity. So insecurity is a root.
Yeah.
You can't just see the problem from this, you know, from the physical aspect of it. You need to go to the tap root and solve the problem from the tap root. Only then you will be able to tackle the problem once and for all. Rates of anxiety and depression in young people have risen 70% in the past 25 years, says Royal Society for Public Health Study. And social media is linked with factors like anxiety, depression, and poor sleep. So it's like, you know, being a roller coaster, you know, that life of ups and downs. And then, dear viewer, you may be wondering, okay, what can I do? Where is the answer? Where is the solution? Well, you have been watching, you know, videos, testimonies, you know, from people who struggled a lot, who used to struggle a lot with the issue of insecurity. But when they discovered the power of faith, when they learned about the power of faith, and they took the right course of action, they managed to overcome that insecurity. I mean, just let's take the example of the young man who was here, Nathan. Yeah, he was here. The boy used to be very, very shy, very, very insecure. And now, you know, he was here. He was here on a, you know, on a TV show talking to the public, and he didn't hesitate.
And if we didn't stop him, he would just continue talking.
Yeah, until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because you see, but that's it. But that shows how confident the young man is.
Yeah.
And he attributes, you know, he praises faith, his faith, for being responsible for the change that happened to him.
Sometimes, Douglas, people don't understand that, or as we said many times on the program, sometimes the person is going through a situation and they said, there's no solution. Because I have been like this for 5 years, I've been like this for 10 years, and maybe you have been suffering insecurity for many years. And you start to listen to that, those negative thoughts that you will not change. You are going to be like this. I can tell you it is not true. This is not true. If Nathan changed, you can change also. And you have to have this confidence in yourself. Don't compare yourself with others. Don't look at others and say, no, I would like to be like that. No. Love who you are. As Nathan says, Douglas, he believed in himself. And that's where his confidence starts to grow.
Yeah, we are holding here a glass of water, Neil and I, and we'd like to invite you now, you know, to prepare a glass of water. It can be a bottle of water if you have one close to you. And when we begin to pray with you, you are going to hold this glass of water and you will close your eyes like that. And in few words, You don't need to repeat what Neil will say. But with your own words, you're going to ask God to help you. It's so simple. You got nothing to lose. Just ask. Try. Don't. Some people say, oh, I've tried everything and my life is still the same. No, you did not try everything. I may agree with you when you say I've tried many things, but not everything. And perhaps this is one thing you never tried before. You didn't pray to God wholeheartedly. Maybe you said some religious prayer which doesn't work, but you never, spoke to God sincerely. It only takes a prayer, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you are, if you've got a religion, if you haven't got any religion, if you, made mistakes in your life, if you, regret, if you're very regretful about your past, perhaps you say, oh, I've done so many horrible things that I don't think God will ever hear me. He does hear you, my friend. If you are sincere, He will listen to you. He will not regard your mistakes. Okay? So let's now prepare our hearts. It's the moment of prayer.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer concerning your family and loved ones, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My Father, we enter in your presence and you said, the way is in the name of Jesus. There are many people right now watching that they are suffering insecurity. Insecurity has been their greatest enemy all these years, my Lord. This person lost his marriage because of insecurity. This lady, she lost her job because of insecurity. This person, my Lord, is close, become a prisoner of themselves because of insecurity. But my Lord, as you help Nathan, you can help this person. This person that he says there's no way. She said there's no way, but there's a way, my Lord. Also, I pray for those who are stressed out, those who have sleepless nights, those, my Lord, they are going through family problems, love life problems, those, my God, that they are facing heavily financial problems. My Lord, in the name of your Son Jesus, I minister freedom upon this person, my Lord, that is at the point of giving up. In the name of Jesus, be free wherever you are. Be set free now. In Jesus Christ's name. My God, we ask to consecrate this water. May you consecrate it to this person that is watching, my Lord, when he drinks, when she drinks. My Lord, give strength to this person. If there's a sickness, remove it, my Lord, by faith. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. This is what, my God, I determine. This is what I believe in Jesus Christ's name. Drink now your water and say amen.
You are going to make a decision that from now on, you will believe yourself. From now on, you won't be a people pleaser. You won't be trying to please everybody, because you will never be able to please everybody. And let me tell you what, okay? No matter what you do, no matter how good you are, how nice you are to people, guess what, my friend? There will always be somebody who will dislike you.
Yeah, always.
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 Okay? So if you're trying to please everybody around you, I'm sorry, but you are, wasting your energy. You don't need that. You don't need people's approval. Listen to this. You don't need people's approval. You don't need to depend on people approving you in order for you to move forward in life. Just believe yourself. Do your best. What is it that you are good at? I'm sure you are good at something. Do what you know what to do and do it with the best of your ability, and you're going to be successful. It will not be easy. You're going to come across many obstacles. You're going to come across many difficult times, but you will certainly make it, and people will admire you. And some people will not like you. They will be envious, they will be jealous. So what?
That's a part of life.
Yeah, leave it. But what you cannot do, you can't let it, get on you. You can't let it become a grudge. Okay? God is with you, my colleague. May God bless you abundantly.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.